a specific assignment or a specific, task. And so at the same time, what's up, YouTubers in the house? Come on into the assignment. Did you hear me, YouTubers? Come on in, gather around the table. Hey, TikTok family and friends, Facebook family and friends, how y'all feel this morning? Y'all come on into the assignment. So I got this background music popping off real good, showing all type of good. Let me see, can I get it to go up some more so y'all can hear it? I don't want y'all to be, left out. Hold on one second. Y'all know how I do this right. For y'all, I'll do anything. I hope it stay like that without going into commercial. But I really want y'all to feel this vibration. I really want y'all to feel this frequency, feel this energy, feel this this whole connectedness as I move through life's curriculums. Like everybody else, we are all here dealing with tragedies, dealing with, I can tell y'all this, that for the last maybe like year, it's been about a year, it might be some change, some change that I pushed away from TV. Like I really don't watch TV. So I didn't even know, I haven't seen the news. I really don't know like current events. I don't know what has been happening in the earth, because what I discovered is that every time I watch the news, like every time I watch, certain, things like that, it always try to, it put narratives or ideologies or fear, or it pushes certain things into my direction. And so sometimes you have to block it, right? Sometimes through your eye gates and through your ear gates, you have to be careful about everything that you absorb, right? And so at the same time, I walked away to a certain degree from TV. And so I don't really watch the news. I didn't even know that it was Hurricane Bruno. I didn't even know that until about 2 days ago. Day before yesterday, I learned about this hurricane that was brewing. And so I somehow or another, I put the news on. I had the news put on, and I just sat back and watched the news and see how perfect this eye of the storm is. And I just kind of like, my heart goes out for the people. And I went through Andrew, I went through Hurricane Andrew, I've been through Katrina. I went through that as a resident in South Florida, in Miami. We know hurricanes all too well. And so at the same time, my heart went out to Jamaica. I'm like, wow, it's a perfect storm. It's a perfect storm. And that low-lying conditions of a country like that, Jamaica, like they're in for, a catastrophe. And so we all are experiencing something, something is going on in the atmosphere, something is going on in the environment, something is going on in the way everything has been moving lately. It's just like things in the atmosphere is just happening, right? All kind of tragedies, all kind of atmospheric pressures and atmospheric entities that's happening in the atmosphere and causing people to have to brace themselves, brace themselves for, what's about to happen, that is happening, is headed your way, and it's about to happen. But then it's certain times of life as we move through life's curriculums, right? As we move through all of these ins and these outs and these ups and these downs and these trials and these tribulations and all of these things that we have to move through life to manipulate past, it's some things in this world that we might not even consider, or some things about ourselves that we might not even have the ability to take place because we're so distracted by all the external things that the internal things go unnoticed or healed. And so at the same time, of course, y'all know I gotta come. Y'all know I am Kendrick B. Davis Sr., your thought-provoking specialist. And I'm here for no other reason than to provoke thought. cause your thought and your mindset, to shift, based on what we all must endure. Sometimes our fight is an external fight, but we have to fight against the elements of this world and against the elements of this earth, and all kind of flash floods and all kind of winter storms and all kind of summer heats and all type of hurricanes and all type of tornadoes and all type of avalanches and things of that nature that be happening in the atmosphere that I guess has to happen, or it's either possibly even sent, or it's allowed, or whatever the case may be. We don't know. We know that there's some machines out here. We know that they have some weather machines. Now, you just Google weather machine, and you can see that on, I think, YouTube, about these weather machines and things of that nature. So we don't know if this is allowed by the creator of all things, or if this is sent, by the narratives that be, or whatever the case may be. We don't know all that it is to know. But is there some things in our own personal life that we do know? There's some things in our personal life that we have to become more cognitively aware of. That's just the way it goes. And so at the same time, as I sat down with myself, y'all remember I told y'all yesterday, when the creator of all things said, do a mental audit. Like, go ahead on and give yourself a mental audit. Like, audit yourself mentally. Get your mental capacity out and audit yourself. Right? Just audit yourself. And so, in the midst of me auditing myself, a lot of things come with that audit, with that observation of yourself. You're going to have to observe yourself. There's a part of you that you're going to have to observe, right? That you're going to have to pay attention to. It's a part of yourself. And so as I was paying a part of attention to myself, and even with the session that we had in here yesterday, where I told y'all that I've never really had to deal with anything but it's okay. I said all that to say this is, as we observe the atmosphere, as we observe the nation, as we observe, the things that has been placed in our eyesight, politics and economics and finances, and even going to the grocery store is setting people back. You just have all these different attentions that you have to pay close attention to externally, because that's the way that you're going to have to observe it, right? But then there's some times in this thing called life when you're going to have to look at your internal. You understand the external, but then there's some times that you're going to have to do this mental audit of your internal. What made you feel the way you feel? What made you do some of the things that you did that has nothing to do with anybody else outside of you? You did it, man. Hey, sir, you did it. So it has nothing to do with anybody outside of you. All the people did that was outside of you was observe you do what you did. That's all we had. But that's the only part that we had to play, was to observe you do it. You did it on your own, and with your own energy, with your own essence, and your own reasoning behind why you did what you did. You did that. And so what I came here to tell the mind of the people is, what you don't heal in your singleness, ooh-wee. I say, sir, what you don't allow to heal and to be healed from in your singleness will spread like a disease in your togetherness. Ooh-wee. I said a mouthful right then. Did you hear me, sir? Hey, ma'am, did you hear me, queen? I said a mouthful right then. And as I sat down with myself on yesterday, right? In the middle of the night, I had to take a mental audit myself mentally, audit myself from a perspective by which I have to observe myself externally. I don't know if everybody has the capacity to do that. Some people will never take accountability for themselves. They'll never really take the accountability perspective for themselves, and they'll blame everybody else that said that you perceive that to be that way. No, that's not what happened, man. I actually stood outside myself and watched you do what you did, sir. I stood outside myself and had my emotions detached from what was going on at the moment. All I did was observe and make an assessment. You can observe and make an assessment and then take a mental audit of the thing that you observed and you assessed. When you have the ability to do that, ma'am, I think you give yourself, and I don't know, because now I'm doing research on Libras for whatever reason. I am a Libra. I am the only zodiac in the whole entire diaspora that doesn't have some type of mystic or some kind of animal involved symbol as their zodiac. And when the creator of all things said, tell the mind of the people that all of it is a part of it. So now in sessions and in therapy and in life and in coaching and things of that nature, I have to add zodiacs and I have to add blood types. He told me to add both of those two things into the sessions now. You got to add your zodiac because every zodiac has a generalized characteristic as to how they move in the earth. Just like every blood type has a generalized character. A's move different from B's. B's got a little pull in the corner of their eye. They almost look Chinese. They almost have that little pull in the corner of their eye. B's does. And then ABs are different, and then O's is the original man. Those are the ones that original here on earth first, or O. That's why they're universal. They carry the universal. They could donate to each one of the blood types outside of themselves, but they can't receive anything from another blood type outside themselves. So you see that? That's how you know they were the original man. So if there wasn't such a thing as a person reached down and blew the ruach breath of life into another individual's nostril and he became a living soul, that soul was an O. And so that's what made them universal donors. And so at the same time, I'm just sitting here shooting the breeze right now, but I want to let you know, as we observe all the things that's happening in Jamaica, as we sit back and with bated breath to just observe and see what would be the outcome of this perfect storm. The eye of the storm is perfect. I didn't even know this 3 days ago. I don't even watch the news. I no longer watch the news. I no longer feed my brain and my mind and my spirit with the things that be observed through eye gates and ear gates. But you gotta pay careful attention. I know it's a touchy two-edged sword. I'm like, oh, you need to know what your current events are. I know. But sometimes when you know those current events, they affect you. The anxiety of the capacity by which your heart go out for other individuals, you are affected and your vibrations is dropped lower because what you know that somebody else might be going through. And so at the same time, is that a bad thing? No. But is that a good thing? No. I don't think it's bad or good. I just think it's what it is, right? And so as I observe the world and all the things that play in this factor, and as we have to come inward and draw closer to ourselves and see what all the factors are playing within us to make us move in the capacity by which we move. Sometimes you move randomly and you don't even know why you move that way. Why did I do that? And instead of you asking yourself, why did you do that? You will blame people for seeing what you saw. You will blame people for observing what they saw you do. All they did was observe and make an assessment. of your actions, man. That's all I did was I see you do what you did. And I become the bad guy for making the assessment and the evaluations based on my own mental audit. I take that. But what I'm here to tell the mind of the people is what you don't heal in your singleness will spread like a disease in your togetherness. When you don't heal your body and heal your mind and heal your spirit and heal your emotions, and you haven't done the shadow work and you haven't went through all the processes and went to therapy and worked thoroughly through, with intentionals, being intentional about your healing as a single person, I'm just here to let you know it'll spread like a disease, like wildfire in your togetherness in a relationship. It'll spread. Because you haven't done the work, man. You didn't do the work, sir. You didn't do the shadow work, sir. You didn't burn enough. You didn't burn off enough internally for you to be healed from what happened to you physically. And so, or emotionally, and or spiritually, and or psychologically, and or socially. You didn't heal from it. And so at the same time, what you don't heal from in your singleness, while you're single, is a time to do all of the shadow work, all of the necessary assignments, all of the work that you need to do. Your singleness, so that way when you embrace somebody in your life, you embrace somebody in your life, you don't allow what the hurt and the past pains that you have once experienced to exude and exasperate the relationship based on you doing that to the person by which you've been hurt. Hurt people hurt people. Ooh-wee. So I've heard that slogan, sir. A kings in the earth. I have heard that slogan, that cliche, that hurt people hurt people. Now, whether it's intentional or accidental, what I don't know if there's a difference if it's intentional hurt or accidental hurt. What difference does it make if you hurt something that you said you love, but you've hurt it? Because you operate from a hurt perspective, because you didn't heal in your singleness, it's gonna spread like a wildfire in your togetherness, in your family, in your connections with other individuals in the earth as you pass through this thing called life's paths, life's avenues, life's boulevards, life's streets, life's courts, life's terraces. You come through, you're gonna have to know. Because I'm here to let you know that what you don't heal in your singleness will spread like a disease in your togetherness. And at the same time, a person could put forth their best foot forward. They'll put their best foot forward, deny themselves a lot of the things that they really wanted. They'll deny themselves to be in a relationship with you. And you go and do something foul. And you go step outside the protocol by which you should be standing within the protocol as a woman, as a feminine, as a man, as a masculine. You go step outside the protocol, sir, and go see somebody else. You know you're wrong. And so, where do we go from here? What are the next moves? What are the next assignments? What are the next I'm getting over a little cough. What is the next move as we move through this thing called life? Do you pay attention enough to yourself to where you don't try to do that anymore and you take full accountability for your actions? Or do you still blame everybody external outside of you for you moving the way you did? Like, ooh-wee. And so, at the same time, Did you hear me? I say at the same time, man, at the same time, sir, you're going to have to pay attention to how you feel, how that made you feel in comparison to what they did. If your feelings are rotten, it was rotten by the fruit by which they bear into your life. They bear forth fruit. Did you hear me? I say they let fruit hang off their tree. Was that good fruit or bad fruit? So what you don't heal in your singleness will spread like a disease in your togetherness. Did you hear me? I say what you don't heal in your singleness while you're single, while you are a single entity in the earth, right? And you trying to prepare for your husband or your wife or your significant other, and you really want to have that open dialogue, communication, and you want to have a beautiful union with that person. You can't allow what you didn't heal in your singleness to come show up in your togetherness. Because it's going to interrupt some stuff. It's going to interrupt the play. It's going to interrupt the forward moving process. If you allow what you didn't heal in your singleness to spread like a disease in your togetherness, in your relationship, you're going to have to pay attention. You're going to have to do the self-check and the self-evaluations. You're going to have to do the self-assessments, man. Do the mental audit, the spiritual audit, the significant audit. You're going to have to audit yourself and see if you could have did something differently. If you'd have moved differently, we probably wouldn't even been in this space right now. If you did anything different than what you did, we wouldn't even be right here because I would never seen what I saw. You would have never had the ability to show me what you, I would never even be. You understand what I'm saying? If you stand on my side of the spectrum, you would 100% understand what I'm saying. You didn't do anything wrong. All you did was sit back and watch somebody else move incorrectly. And then you question yourself about why they moved like that in my presence. Like, damn, like, why they moved like that in my presence? They wanted me to see what that I had to see that for a reason. So sometimes you might have to see certain things, sir, for a reason. But then you have to make the assessment and the evaluation whether or not you desire to stay or go. How did that make you feel? Yeah. And so I am here for all of your questions, all of your answers. If you have any questions for me, I wish I know that once TikTok is over, then that goes away. And then, you know what I'm saying, I know my Facebook family and friends never really ask me any questions. They never really tell me no lies. They just there observing behind the curtain of life, watching me do my thing. And so that's okay too. I got my YouTube family over here that, you know what I'm saying, that just, interact periodically. And as I go to this new realm and this new dimension, as the creator of all things continue to guide and order my footsteps, and as I just want to sit here and be an observer, but I want to put forth my best foot forward. As I move through this thing called life, right? Am I perfect in doing so? No, no one is. No one's perfect. But even in the midst of your imperfections, sir, you must be pure. We know we are imperfect beings. And we have no perfection nowhere near us. But even in the midst of your imperfections, you must be pure. Have a pure heart with a pure mind, a pure perspective, a pure energy, a pure frequency. And if your purity is pure, then you will prevail. You'll land on your feet. Did you hear me? I say you'll land on your feet. Everywhere you go, you'll land on your feet. It'll always be a way. of escape. It always be a way for you to move in the capacity by which you desire. And so, as I sit here, as I share, as I say that what you don't heal in your singleness will spread like a disease in your togetherness. That little thing came up in my spirit, came up, saying, in my eyesight, in my viewpoint, for a reason. At this moment, when you walk through this thing called life, you better have your eyes wide open, man. And sometimes you might have to close your natural eyes in order to see through your spiritual eye. And as you could be going 70 miles an hour down I-75 and look up at a billboard, and that what's on that billboard is the answer to your prayer that you prayed 3 months earlier. You just have to walk with enough openness and enough understanding, and that the creator of all things speak through numbers. He speak through colors. He speak through, all manner of ways. You just have to be open enough to receive it. Your answer might be right in front of your eyes. At the same time, you can't even see it because you're walking with your eyes wide closed. And so, since I am here, I got to stand up, on my assignment as Kendrick B. Davis Sr., your thought provoker. I'm here for no other reason than provoke thought, cause your thought process to click in to a new gear. Pay attention to all of it, because all of it was a part of it. Everything is a part of everything else. There's nothing, one part that you cannot pay attention to and act like you're going to have the full understanding and the full awareness of it all. You got to pay attention to all of it. So what you don't heal in your singleness will spread like a disease, like a wildfire in your togetherness. And so I'm here on my assignment. I'm here on my assignment. I said I'm here. I'm on my assignment. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I have an attitude of gratitude because I know I'm operating within the center and the circumference of the Creator's perfect will for my life. I don't have no qualms with that. I don't have no discrepancies about that. And I can stand here 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday in the 12 o'clock hour, and speak like I've been chosen to do. And so, since I've said what I've said, I've observed what I observed, I saw it. I understand what it was. Sometimes in this thing called life, man, you might have to go into your whole innermost being. You might have to go into it, tap all the way into it. So that way you can walk in a healed perspective, because what it was designed to do was hurt you. It wasn't designed to help you. It was designed to hurt you emotionally, or in your manhood, or in your womanhood, or in your femininity. It was designed to hurt you, man. It was designed to hurt you, sir. To your core of your being. You had to shake that thing off for us. It's like, wait a minute, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve, and I don't have to tolerate it. I don't have to accept it. I don't have to, I acknowledge it, but I ain't have to accept it. I'll never accept the disrespect. I never do that. Because that means that's where I'm disrespecting myself if I don't stand in my innermost being. If you accept disrespect in your life, blatant disrespect, then you're gonna be disrespected. That's how that goes. So, what you don't heal from in your singleness, man, will spread like a cancerous disease in your togetherness. It'll cause more hurt by you not healing from it in your singleness during the time that you were single and you just brought somebody else in on the situation. I didn't sit back and made an assessment and an evaluation based on what it is. It'll spread like a wildfire. It'll spread like a disease in your togetherness, in your relationship. Yeah. And so at the same time, I am Kendrick B. Davis Sr., your thought-provoking specialist, your health-conscious coach, your intellectual content creator. I'm also your podcast professor. And at the same time, I guess you're going to have to allow it to be what it is. I don't think we have any control over it. We're going to have to allow it to be whatever it is. Anything outside of that will be revealed in due time. Y'all be blessed. Peace and blessings. Did you hear me? I say peace and blessings to every individual on the sound of my voice. Peace and blessings to every individual that will come across this session and tap into it. And to a certain degree or another, might I have the ability to identify with it. If you identify with anything that I've said in this session in your own personal life or in your observational life, as in your environmental life that you just observed somebody else went through, whatever it is, feel free to contact me. Feel free to chime in with me and acknowledge the fact that you understood. And so at the same time, that'll give me an additional perspective by which I can view it. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. Peace and blessings to every individual on the sound of my voice. I am Kendrick B. Davis Sr., your thought-provoking specialist, and I'm on assignment. Be good, TikTok. Be good, Facebook family and friends. Be good. Peace and blessings, YouTube.